Hello everyone. Today I will going to start with plastering and ponting. That is a rate analysis of plastering and ponting of third module. As you know that in which VTU question paper, almost all the question paper, almost about 80 to 90% of question paper, they will going to ask about the plastering, the rate analysis of the plastering. So here first we shall know what do you mean by plastering. So plastering means it is a material usually used for the protective or decorative coating over the walls. Okay, and it is in the form of a ratio, that is mortar here. It is in the form of ratio of 1:6 or 1:4 or something on time 1:3 also. But usually the thickness of the plastering is around 12 mm. Sometimes they may use for 6 mm. Plaster for wall they are using for 12 mm, whereas for ceiling they are using for the 6 mm here. Okay. So here he has given question like this: 12 mm thick plaster 1:6 on new brick wall, and he has mentioned that the plastering work should be carried out for the 100 square meter. So in order to carry out this plastering, we should calculate the quantity of materials. So in order to calculate the quantity of materials, we required a dry mortar. So without knowing the wet volume of mortar, it is very difficult for us to calculate the dry volume of mortar. So let's start with the calculation of the wet volume of mortar here. So wet volume of mortar will be calculated by multiplying the thickness of the mortar, that is thickness of the plastering into the area of the plastering, that area which we covered for the plastering here. So here thickness he has given 12 mm, and whereas the area, that is quantity, is around 100 square meter. So after multiplying the thickness, that is 0.012 meter, that I converted into meter. So 0.012 into 100, then I got the volume equals, so that is wet volume equals to 1.2 meter cube here. Then for this additionally I need to add 30% extra here. It means in a way we are adding means to fill up the joints, and as well as for the uneven surface we are adding 30% extra here. So after adding the 30% extra, then the wet volume of mortar is equals to 1.2 plus 30 divided by 100 into 1.2, then we got 1.56. Here is 1.56 we got. Okay, na? So then for dry mortar we need to add 25% extra. So why we need to add dry mortar means 25% extra. So when we add water to the mortar, the voids in the mortar get closed, just filled up with the materials, that is a finer material, finer particles. It gets filled with the finer particles. So for this, what we need to then what will get filled up here. So that is the reason we need to add dry mortar. For additionally we need to add 25% extra. So here we are not using any aggregate, but we are using sand and cement. But finer particle, the finer gap will be filled up by the voids when we add the water. Then there will be reduction in the volume of about 25%. So that volume will be additionally we need to add 25% extra. So after adding the 25% extra, then dry mortar equals to that is wet mortar 1.56 plus 25 by 100 into 1.556. Then we got the total dry volume of plastering is equals to 1.5. Then we make it into 2 meter cubes. So this is the dry volume of mortar for plastering. You should remember, or else you should calculate it like this. Okay, na? So dry volume of plastering is equals to per 12 mm thick is 2 meter cube. Then we can, by using this volume dry mortar, we can calculate the materials here. First cement, cement equals to dry volume divided by the ratio of that is proportion of plastering. The proportion is 1:6 here. So 1 plus 6, 2 divided by 1 plus 6 equals 2. Then we got the volume is 0.3. Then this 0.3 is divided by the volume of 1 bag of cement. The volume of 1 bag of cement is equals to 0.0347. So 0.3 divided by 0.0347. Then we got the number of bags is around 9 numbers here. Then similarly for the sand, we've calculated dry volume of cement is equals, volume of cement is equals to 0.3. For this 0.3 we need to multiply the proportion, that is 6. 0.3 into 6, then we got the sand is 1.8 meter cube. So this is how we need to calculate the material. So now we shall calculate the number of laborers and their wages as well as the materials, that is a rate analysis. So for this again you should prepare a tabular column like this, that is serial number, particulars, quantity, rate and amount here. First I should consider here material. In that material cement and sand. First I will consider cement, and cement as we calculated above, we got number of the quantities around 9 bags here. Then the present rate of the cement is around 325 rupees, that is the average rate that will be considered here. 9 into 325, then we got the total amount is 2925, 925 rupees. Okay, similarly for the sand, and sand the volume what we calculate there is 1.8, and the rate is around 1900 per meter cube. Per meter cube is 1900, so 1.8 into 1900, then we got the amount is total amount of 3420. This is about the materials cost. Then we want the labor cost here, and here we remember the labors. You should remember the labors from the labor out task, or you should calculate the number of labors here. Okay, na? So labors here: mason, mazdoor, bisti, and that is tools and plants, that is scaffolding. Mason is around we got half numbers we required here per day, and you make it around 500 rupees per day. Then half into 500, then total amount is around 250. So next similarly mason 10 numbers per day, sorry 10 numbers you make it, and you make it around 450 rupees per day. Then 10 into 450 is 4500. Mazdoor around 70 numbers. Mazdoor is include both Beldar and Mazdoor, both are remain same. So 17 into 400, then 6800 here. BC is 2.5 numbers, and 2.5 into 250 make it around 250 rupees per day. 2.5 into 250, then 625 rupees. Then upholding is lump sum, and lump sum is around 250. Then as it is 250. After calculating the cost of labors, then we should add material cost and labor costs. Then the total amount is equals to 18,770 rupees. For this additionally we should add 1% of water charges. After adding the water charges, we got 187 rupees. Then after adding 18,770 plus 187.7 rupees, 70 rupees, 0.7 rupees, then we got the total amount is around 18,957.7. And for this additionally we are adding 10% of extra for the contractor profit, and then the amount is around we got 1895. After adding 18,957 plus 1895.7, then the grand total what we got here 20,853 rupees. Okay, this is per 100 square meter, but we should calculate the what is the cost per square meter. Therefore rate per square meter equals to 20,853.4 divided by 100 square meter, then we got around 210 rupees per square meter. This is about the plastering for 12 mm thick wall, that is 1:6 ratio. Okay, then same plastering that will be carried out for the ceiling here. 12 mm cement plastering in ceiling, that is 1:6, proportion is 1:6 here, with coarse sand here, and quantity as we mentioned that around 100 square meter. And again we should calculate the materials will be for this will be remain same, and that is again the wet volume is equals to thickness into 100. Then additionally we are adding 30% extra for the uneven surface, and then we got wet volume is 1.56, and again add dry volume around 25%, because when we add the water there will be reduction in the volume of mortar, so that is the reason we need to add additionally 25% extra. Then we got the 1.95, then we round off into 2 meter cube. Then we calculate the materials cement and sand, and here he has mentioned proportion 1:3. So cement equals to 2 divided by 1 plus 3, then 0.5. So this 0.5 divided by 0.0347, then number of bags equals to 14.40. Similarly for the sand 0.5 into 3, then 3 is equals to, that is proportion, then 1.53 meter cube here. And then again we should prepare a tabular column, that is the serial number, particular, quantity, rate and amount. In that first I should consider the material, in that cement and sand, and as we calculated at the cement, the number of bags of cement is equals to 14.4, and whereas the sand is 1.53 meter cube, and the rate for cement is 325 rupees per bag, and whereas for sand is 1900 rupees per meter cube. After multiplying the quantity into rate, then we got this amount here. This is amount of materials. Then we move on to the labors and masonry. Masonry and admission remain, both are remain same. So masonry is around, we may get around 1 by 3 numbers here, and for mason is around 12 numbers, and mazdoor around 70 numbers, and bist is 2 numbers here. Then cost will be remains same, that is 500 rupees per day, and whereas mason you may get around 450 rupees per day, and mazdoor you may get around 400 rupees per day, and bist is 250, and scaffolding we required here, then around 250 lump sum. Then this is the then we need to multiply quantity and rate of the labors per day, then we got the amount like this. Then after adding material cost and labor cost, then the total amount what we got is 21,000 and 21,996. For this we are added 1% of water charge here, 1% of, after adding 1% water charge, then we got 219 rupees 0.96. Then the total cost is equals to 22,215.96 after adding the water charges here. Then for this again we should add 10% of contractor profit. Then after adding the contractor profit, then the amount is we got that is 2,221 rupees. Then we should add these two amount in order to get the grand total. So 22,215.96 plus 2,221.59 rupees. Then we got the grand total equals 24,437.556. So this is for 100 square meter. This is the cost for 100 square meter work here. But what is the cost for per square meter? Then for square meter equals to the grand total divided by the total area of total area of mortar. The total area of the plastering per ceiling is around 100 square meter. Then 24,000 divided by 100 square meter. Then we got 245 rupees per square meter. This is for 1:6 proportion, sorry 1:3 proportion, whereas 1:6 proportion we got around 210 rupees, whereas for 1:3 proportion, when the proportion reduces, the cost will be increases. Okay. Then we move on to the next one, that is plastering with cement mortar for 1:6 for 20 mm thick. Sometime he has mentioned the 20 mm thick with neat cement finishing. It means that is the reason he has mentioned 20 mm thick here. Then we should calculate the wet volume here. First wet volume equals to thickness into area. Thickness is around 20 mm, that is 20 mm, that converted into meter, 0.02 into 10, then you got 2 meter cube. Additionally 20% extra that we have to add for the uneven surface and joints. Then we got the wet volume is 2.4, and as I told you, when we add water to the mortar, then there will be reduction in the volume. So that is the reason we need to add 25% extra for in order to get the dry volume. So after adding the 25% extra of the dry volume, therefore the total dry volume equals to 2.4 plus 25 divided by 100 into 2.4. Then we got around 2 meter cube here. So remember, plastering with 1:6 of 20 mm thick, the dry volume is equals to 3 meter cube here. Remember, dry volume is equals to 3 meter cube. Then cement, we should calculate the materials here. Cement 3 divided by proportion, 3 divided by 1 plus 6 is equals to 0.442 meter cube. Then therefore number of bags equals to 0.428 divided by 0.0347, where 0.0347 is the volume of one bag of cement of 50 kgs. Okay. Then for neat finishing, again we should consider, for neat finishing 2.2 kg per square meter. So 2.2 kg per square meter means that the total square meter is 100. So 2.2 into 100, then we got around 220 kgs here. So 220 kgs here, and per bag of cement is weighing around 50 kg. So 220 kg divided by 50 kg, then we got the number of bags is around 4.4 bags here. Therefore, the total number of bags of cement we required is 12 plus 4.4 is equals to 16.4. Similarly, for the sand is 0.428 into 6, then we got 2.56 meter cube. Then we should prepare a tabular column like this, and cement serial number, particulars, quantity, rate and amount. And first I should we shall consider the material in that cement including finishing. Total number of bags equals to 16.4 and rate is around 325 rupees per bag. Then the cost is equals to 5330, and for sand is 2.56, and that is the quantity is 2.56 and the rate is around 1900. So 2.56 in 1900, then we got the total amount is 4864. Then we shall move on to the labors. So for labors we have Mestri, Mason, Mazdoor and Bistier and scaffolding. That is tools and plants. And here Mestri, the Mestri is nothing but admission, we may get around 1/3 here, and Mason is around 12 and Mazdoor is around 15 and Bisti is one number. Scaffolding is scaffolding is a lump sum. Cost, as we know that 500 per day, that is Mestri may get around 500 per day, and Mason you may get around 450 rupees per day, and Mazdoor you may get around 400 rupees per day, and Bisti you may get around 250, and the lump sum is around 250. Then after multiplying the quantity into rate, then we got the cost of the labors, and this is the cost of material and this is the cost of the labors. Okay, then after adding those two, then we got total amount is around 22,260 rupees, and for this additionally we need to add 1% of water charge. After adding the 1% of water charge, then we got the total amount is 22,482, and for this we are adding 10% of contractor profit. Then after adding the contractor profit, then we got the total amount is around 24,731 rupees. Okay, this is for 100 square meter. Therefore rate per square meter is equals to 24,731 divided by 100, then we get around 247 rupees per square meter. Okay, then next we move on to the 6 mm thick cement plastering per ceiling here, and here also we should calculate the materials. First, as I told you, volume of wet mortar is around thickness into area plastering. Thickness is 0.006 into 100, then we got 0.6 here, and for this additionally 20% extra that we are adding for filling the joints and wastage, and after adding it we get 0.72. Then for dry mortar we need to add extra 30% extra here. After adding the 30% extra, then we got 0.72 plus 30 divided by 100 into 0.72, then we got the total volume is around 0.936. This is for plastering that will be carried out for the ceiling of 6 mm. And then we calculated cement and sand. Cement what we got here, the 0.936 divided by proportion, then we got 0.234. This 0.234 divided by the 0.0347, then number of bags we got around 7 numbers here, and whereas sand 0.234 into proportion 3, then we got 0.702. This is about the cement and sand. And then we should prepare a tabular column like the same tabular column, that is material serial number, particular, quantity, rate and amount. In that first material cement and sand, then cement what we got is around 7 bags, and whereas sand we got around 0.702 meter cube, and we multiplied the number of bags into rate, then we got the total amount for cement is around 2,275 rupees, whereas for sand we got around 1,333.8 rupees. And whereas for similarly labors, here we required around admission, mason, Mazdoor and Bisti, and scaffolding here, and admission is around half here, whereas mason is around 10 and Mazdoor mason is around 12 and Mazdoor is around 10 and Bisti is 2 numbers. And rate, as we know that the rate will be remain same. Then after multiplying the quantity into rate, then we got the mason you may get around 250 rupees per day, and admission you may get around 5,400 and after completion of 100 square meter of the work here this is. And for Mazdoor you may get around 4,000 after completion of 100 square meter work, and this is around 500, whereas scaffolding is 250. After adding the material cost and labor cost, then we got the total amount is around 14,008 rupees. And for this we are added 1% of water charge. Then after adding 1% of water charge, then total amount we got, what we got is 14,148.8 rupees. And for this again we added 10% of the contractor profit. After adding the contractor profit, then we got the total amount, that is the grand total, equals to 15,563.68. and this is for 100 square meter work, and whereas per square meter is equals to 15,563.8 divided by 100. Then we got the rate per meter square equals to 155 rupees per meter square. Then we move on to the parting. This is assignment question. In that assignment questions, the 12 thick cement mortar for plastering for ceiling. So 100 square meter work here, and calculation will be remain same that what we calculated for previous. Okay, na? So it will be remain same, and only should remember the labors here. Then you can work out this plastering. Okay, and then we move on to the pointing here. Pointing for pointing in a brickwork, the total dry mortar it is taken as 0.6 meter cube for 100 square meter. He has given the dry mortar is that 0.6 meter cube here for 100 square meter. So pointing in cement mortar 1:3 proportion, take it 100 square meter. Therefore the dry volume he has mentioned that 0.6 here. Therefore cement is equals to 0.6 divided by 4, that is proportion. 0.15, and this 0.15 divided by 0.0347. Therefore number of bags, what we got here, 4.3 number of bags per 100 square meter. And the sand is equals to 0.15 into 3, then we got 0.45. And again we should prepare a tabular column like this. So serial number, particular quantity, rate and amount. Cement and sand, that is first you can set material, cement and sand. And cement we after calculating the quantity we got 4.3 bags, whereas sand is equals to 0.45 meter cube, and rate is per cement is 325 rupees per bag, whereas per sand is 1900. After multiplying the quantity and rate, then we got the amount is 1397.5 rupees for cement, and whereas per sand is 855 rupees. And here labors, we required head mason, mazdoor and basti. Head mason is around half year, and mazdoor is 10 numbers. Mason is 10 numbers, mazdoor is 8 numbers, and basti is 2 numbers. And as we know, the rate for mason you may get around 500 rupees per day, and mason you may get around 450 rupees per day, and mazdoor you get around 400 rupees per day, and basti is 250, and lump sum, and that is scaffolding is around 250. After multiplying the quantity and rate, then we got the total amount of the labors here, that is 250, 4,500, 3,200, 500 plus 250. Then we should add material cost and labor cost. After adding the material cost and labor cost, then we got the total amount is around 10,952 rupees. And for this we need to add 1% of water charge. After adding the 1% of water charge, then we got the total amount is 11,062 rupees. And for this again we need to add 10% of the contractor profit or head work here. So then after adding 10% of contractor profit, then the grand total what we got is around 12,168.22 here. This is about the this is the total amount for the 100 square meter, where therefore where here we required amount per square meter. Therefore per square meter, rate per square meter equals to 12,168.22 divided by 100. Then we got the rate is around 122 rupees per square meter. Okay, this is all about the plastering and pointing. Okay, thank you.